Hello, fellow reading friends. Chris here. Today I have a little bit of a mashup of a video because I'm still trying to play catch up from coming back from vacation this past week. I'm still trying to catch up on all the videos that I've missed, all the Instagram posts, all the things. So I'm going to be going over 3 things in this video. 1, just a little personal channel / life update. 2, I'm going to be doing a quick review on the Empress, which was the last book that I actually finished back in June. And then 3, finally, this is going to serve as my June wrap-up, and I'm just going to quickly rank all of the books that I read in June. If there's a particular section that you are most interested in, then I will be putting chapter times in the description box below. So first, a little bit of a channel update. I haven't really done anything like this before, but as of this morning, I think I had 98 subscribers, which is super close to 100, which is so exciting. Like, not something, well, I mean, I hope that it would happen someday, but my expectations were not high that that was going to happen anytime soon. So very, very exciting. And of course, I want to do something to celebrate whenever that happens, whether it's next week, a few months from now, I don't know. I might do a giveaway, or I've seen other booktubers do Q&As. I don't know. Part of me is like, oh, what if no one wants to know anything about me? I don't know. So if you're interested in any of those things, let me know in the description box down below so that I can plan for the future. On the other side of things, just a little personal thing, I am actually starting a new job tomorrow. So yes, Monday, I'm starting a new job. I was one of those people who lost my job back in the beginning of 2020 because of the pandemic. I have been working in the hospitality industry for most of my adult life, and obviously that took a big hit because of the pandemic, and since then I've kind of been going back and forth trying to figure out where I belong, what I was going to do, how I was going to make a living, all that stuff, but something finally came my way, and I'm very, very, very grateful and very excited that I am able to go back to the hospitality industry with a different company than I was with before. I don't know how having a full-time job is going to affect my posting on Instagram and making YouTube videos. So there might be a little bit of adjustment over the next few weeks, but I'm going to figure it out, and if I need any help, I will count on you to help me figure it out. We can figure it out together, hopefully, and find something that works so that I can keep doing this because I love doing it and it's really fun. So that was my quick little personal channel update. So now I wanted to talk really quickly about the Empress. So the Empress is actually the sequel to the Diabolic. I did do a review of the Diabolic back in the beginning of the year. I can link it above. This is a YA science fiction series. It was actually recommended to me. The first one was recommended to me by one of my followers over on Instagram. And I ended up really, really liking it. Like, it's one of my top books of the year so far. Really, really liked it. Now, the sequel, so basically the setup is our main character, Nemesis, is a genetically engineered creature called a Diabolic. In the first book, she had to pretend that she was a human girl and trying to, she was trying to pretend to be someone else in this, like, crazy galactic court. So it's a lot of, like, political intrigue or courtly intrigue, you know, backstabbing, all that type of stuff. The sequel takes, like, a really interesting turn. Really interesting. So I feel like the first book was more about, like, politics and, like, royalty and that type of stuff. And this one goes way more into the religion of this world, which I thought was an interesting choice. I mean, there was religion in the first book, but it does not go as deep into it as this one. And I'm kind of glad that I did not review this book right away because it's given me time to think about it. And the thing is, this book goes in different directions so often, it almost gave me whiplash. It's one of those ones where like pretty much every single character, except for the main one, every single character that Nemesis comes across, you have no idea if they're telling the truth or not. You don't know if they believe they're telling the truth, if they're actually telling the truth, because 50% of the time, they are not. And it got to the point by the end of the book that I did think it was a little much. It was a little much that everything that happened, every action scene, I'm like, I don't even know if this is really happening. Like, I don't know if this is happening or not. I was so unsure by the end of the book that I kind of did not like that, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly. It sounds right in my head. So my feelings on this book are, the first half of the book I thought was really exciting and went in some really different directions, some really unexpected directions. I did like that. Again, by the time it got to the end, I was like, I don't know if I like this. I think it might have been a little bit much. And the way that the book ends, I have no idea, where the story can even go from here. It's such a departure from how the first book ended that I just don't know how I feel about it. The first book was so good. I don't think that the sequel was a little bit much for me, if that makes sense. I still liked it. I still enjoyed it, but it was not as good as the first one. Those are my basic, quick thoughts on The Empress. So now, for my quick June wrap-up, I'm going to rank all the books that I read in June by order of my favorites. I'm not going to go into depth about them because I've pretty much already reviewed all of these. All of these videos are on my channel. You can go check them out if you are interested. So I'm going to start with my least favorite of the month, which should come as no surprise if you've been watching my reviews every week, and that's going to be The Talisman by Stephen King and Peter Straub. This one was really disappointing. It was way too long. Not something that I would recommend, not something I see myself going back to, so that's going to be the bottom of my list. Number 5 is going to be The Empress, which I just talked about. Again, I still liked it, definitely not as bad as The Talisman, but overall it was a little disappointing and got a little weird by the end, so that's why this one is only number 5. Number 4 is going to be Artemis Fowl in the Opal Deception. This is a book I don't think I've talked about on the channel before because I have been reviewing these books on my website. I usually do written reviews for these books. This is actually the 4th book in the Artemis Fowl series, and I actually really liked it. It's probably one of my favorite books of the Artemis Fowl series so far. It's just that I've read a lot of good books this month, so that's why it's only number 4, but I still really liked it. Really great villain, really great. This book I feel like kind of wraps up the first part of the Artemis Fowl series, so definitely recommend. It's for younger readers, but I really liked it. My number 3 favorite book of the month is going to be Hybrid Magic, the digital book that I beta read for. Obviously, I am a little biased. I have a special place in my heart for this book, so that is why it is number 3. Number 2 is going to be As Far As You'll Take Me. This was, again, a YA romance about a young gay boy trying to build a new life for himself by running away from rural Kentucky, going over to England. I love this book. It was so charming, so much fun. It was a delight. I really liked it. So if you are looking for something, very lighthearted and easy to read, this would be a good option for you. And finally, that brings me to my number 1 favorite book of June, and that was going to be Mistborn. Dun da da da. I'm sure a lot of you will be happy to hear that because I know this is a super popular book. And funny enough, I know I've said this before, but the first half of this book, I did not think that I was going to end up liking this book as much. But the second half of the book really really changed my mind. It really turned out to be surprising in so many different ways. Don't want to ruin it if you haven't read it. But if you're looking for an adult fantasy, a new one, definitely I would recommend this one. Check it out. This is my favorite book of June and has a very good chance of ending up on my top 10 list of the year. So that's my June reading wrap up, my Empress review, and a little bit of a channel personal update. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, happy reading. It's bonus ferret time. Hi, Meepers. The ferrets have been a little bit mad at me because I was gone for so long, but I think they're finally starting to come around again. So hopefully you will see them in some more videos going forward when they decide they finally forgive me. Do you forgive me, Meepers? No. She says no. Please. Maybe next time.